Hello there and welcome to the Midday News with me, Sabena Izoku. Now, the Nigerian troops are currently battling Boko Haram insurgents for the control of the Borno state capital, Maiduguri. The attack, which is the second to take the Borno state capital by insurgents in the last 8 days, is said to have been from two fronts. The attack is coming just a mere 48 hours after the African Union decision to set up a standing regional force to tackle the terror group in a UN-backed move. Troops are now engaged in a combined air and military assault to repel the attack. We'll bring you more of this in a subsequent bulletin. And away from that, the African Union says it agreed to the creation of a regional force to deal with the threat posed by the Boko Haram insurgents to Nigeria and its neighbors. The AU rose at the end of its meeting in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia with a resolve to put in place a regional force to tackle the Boko Haram insurgents that has swept through the northeastern part of Nigeria and is currently threatening Cameroon and Chad. The AU Commissioner for Peace and Security, Smiley Chagui, says the meeting will be held in Cameroon in a few days to put the finishing touches to the move before seeking a UN resolution, a move that has been backed by the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon.
Deploy a multinational force to deal with Boko Haram. There will be a meeting in few days in Cameroon in order to finalize the concept of that operation, and thereafter we will go to New York to seek a resolution under Chapter 7 so that we can really make this force operational on the ground as soon as possible.
Meanwhile, the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has welcomed an African Union proposal to set up a regional five-nation force of 7,500 troops to fight Nigeria's Boko Haram Islamic militants. A support for the initiative announced at the African Union summit being held in Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa came hours after the Chadian military said 3 soldiers and 123 militants were killed in 2 days of fighting with the Chadian army contingent in northern Cameroon. It says the terror group had committed unspeakable atrocities and needs to be tackled effectively. He, however, says military means may not be the only solution to address threats posed by the insurgents.
Terrorism, cross-border crime, and other transnational threats continue to challenge us. The borderless campaign waged by Boko Haram demands stronger and more coordinated action from us all. Welcome the decision of African Union and particularly regional countries to establish a multinational joint task force to address Boko Haram. Like Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, and ISIL, all these terrorists, they have committed unspeakable brutality against humanity. Not a single country, even the regional countries, cannot handle this alone. Therefore, I'm asking that those terrorists should be addressed by regional and international coordination and cooperation. The military means may not be the only solution. There should be a very careful analysis of the root causes why this kind of terrorist and extremism, violent extremism, are spreading. Of the decision of African Union, and I'm ready to cooperate closely with African Union leadership.
And away from that, the People's Democratic Party rally in Kaduna State witnessed a low turnout as the party's supporters seem to have shunned the presidential rally held at the 25,000 capacity Ahmadu Bello Stadium. In a speech at the rally, President Goodluck Jonathan reiterated the desire of the federal government to revive the textile industry across the country. Jonathan says the nation is gradually achieving success in its transformation agenda in the power sector. there is the need for the government to shift focus to reviving the ailing textile industry to boost the country's economy and reduce dependence on imported textile materials.
Be happy with it. And Kaduna State is central because we have more tertiary institutions than any other state. Kaduna State is hosting more tertiary institutions than any other state. So Kaduna State is a center, it's a focus for us in the next 4 years. And when you're in Kaduna State, I think there's something I will mention in our talk. There's one sector of the economy that we have not addressed it the way we must. And the next 4 years we are going to face that. That is the textile industry. And Kaduna State is the home of the textile industry. We must have a special relationship with the key actors, the key stakeholders in the textile industries, because we must revive our textile industries. Luckily, the power is coming back to, a stable power is coming to Kaduna State. By the time we have that stable power, of course, we'll do everything in terms of encouraging cotton farmers, in terms of encouraging the manufacturers to make sure that we revive that industry, because it will help us so much in terms of job creation and, of course, saving a lot of money that will be sent out of this country during foreign exchange. So the people in that sector, if you really want some significant reform, you will work with us, and be rest assured that their sector, the textile sector, will be at the center of our activities in the next 4 years.
On the power sector, Mr. President is, as I speak, constructing a 700 megawatt power plant at Zungeru in Niger State. The decision you made on the 2015 election is extremely important in the whole of the northern states.
Still on politics, the leadership of the All Progressive Congress once again restated its readiness to unseat the People's Democratic Party through the forthcoming general elections. The Ilorin venue of its presidential rally provided the platform for the leaders of the party to disclose an end to the era of impunity which characterized PDP-led government. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
The rally once again had the trappings of those held in other parts of the country by the All Progressives Congress as it continues its bid to pull the rug from the feet of the PDP through the February polls. The leadership of the party says Nigerians embrace the APC not as a party, but because they need change in the polity.
People are in love of change, and can't anything, whether Buhari or no Buhari or anything, or Jonathan or no Jonathan, what Nigeria wants is change.
People are tired of a governance that doesn't have a direction. People are tired of, a clueless government. People want change, people want progress, people want to have trust in their leaders, in the capacity of the leaders to make sure that the dividends of democracy are given to them.
It will be suicidal for anybody to think of rigging this election. And I want to tell you that this election is not riggable. Nigerians are wiser. Nigerians are more determined.
Former Governor Bukola Saraki and the incumbent Abdul Fattah Ahmad both expressed confidence that APC will coast to victory with the support of the people.
This was a state that was 100% PDP. But we said it was time for us to leave the party and move for progress. Until when you have a very good and committed president that we can work together and make better.
The duo of Muhammad Buhari and his vice, Yemi Osinbajo, while stating their plans for Nigerians, advised Kwarans to vote for change in salvaging the already dire situation of the country.
Muhammad Buhari, by the grace of God, President of Nigeria, May 29, 2015, will stop corruption. If you allow the PDP by any chance to continue to rule this country, you are ruining yourself and you are ruining your country. The desperation in that camp is frightening. And with so much resources in their hands, and with the coercive forces at their command, we have a problem, and God willing, we will overcome that problem.
Following the presidential campaigns of different presidential candidates, it is no no doubt that the 2015 general elections will not be forgotten in the annals of the political history of Nigeria. And as February 14 comes nearer, Nigerians are saddled with the responsibility of going out, seeing these manifestos, to guide them in voting for the candidate of their choice when election begins on the 14th of February. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilori.
Away from that, the People's Democratic Party is insisting on the participation of the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, in a live television debate with President Goodluck Jonathan. The spokesman of the party's Presidential Campaign Council, Femi Fani-Kayode, said in a statement in Abuja that the PDP was ready to attend any debate anywhere in the country where the APC candidate, even if it was organized by the party, as long as it will be televised live. He insisted the party's decision not to participate in the debate organized by the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria on grounds of alleged bias is baseless and absurd. According to him, it is a clear evidence of APC's cowardice and its unrelenting contempt for the Nigerian people. The Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has once again boasted that the People's Democratic Party candidate in the February 14 presidential election, President Goodluck Jonathan, will win the election convincingly. He also says the All Progressive Congress will not win any seat in the state and National Assembly elections in the state. Fayose, according to a press statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Idowu Adelushi, stated this while receiving a team of American diplomats in his office. The Americans were led by the United States Consul General in Lagos, Jerry Hawkins. Fayose recalled that the state witnessed a peaceful poll last year during the governorship election and expressed confidence that the standard this time will not be lower. The governor said that Jonathan would defeat his main challenger, the APC candidate General Muhammadu Buhari, because Nigeria was safe with Jonathan, while explaining to the Americans that the editorial he placed on 2 papers last month. Fayose said it was not a death wish, but to appeal to a sense of reason to prevent episodes of 2010 when the National Assembly had to invoke doctrine of necessity. He restated that he had no apology for sponsoring the advert, adding that it was his own personal opinion and not that of the PDP. In his remarks, Hawkins said the unity of Nigeria should be paramount in the minds of politicians. And away from that, the supporters of the governorship candidates of the Labour Party in Oyo State, Alawa Akala, says they cannot wait for the former governor to take over the affairs of the state come 29th May 2015. They hide on the belief on the fact that life was a lot more conducive in his time as governor compared to the current administration. This was the unanimous belief of his supporters as he takes his campaign to Oyo Town. Omotayo Alo has more.
A visit that was not planned to be a rally turned into one when the supporters of the former Oyo State governor and governorship candidate of the Labour Party, Adebayo Alawa Akala, was received by his excited supporters in Oyo. The former governor thereafter made a tour through the 4 local government areas in Oyo Town. Stand by the reception in an area considered to be a stronghold of the ruling party in the state, Alawa Akala waxed lyrical with his supporters, the choristers. On the chances of the Labour Party winning the state at the February polls, a member of the House of Representatives, Camille Akinlabi, and the market leader from Ogbomosho, Grace Olusoji, say Akala is a man of the people with an excellent record of past performance, which can only translate to victory for him at the February election.
This party will, if elected into power, will take care of their welfare, free education, free medical services, improve agricultural facilities to farmers, and all those things, and people are convinced. And you can see from morning till now in Oyo Town that this Labour Party is a party to beat.
The thing to do for everybody is to do something. That's why. From Akala, no Bamagomago for Igore. It's a good straight. Yeah? So that's why I like to vote for Akala.
Commenting on the allegations of Akala's government and violence, the State Secretary of Labour Party, Gbenga Oyèkọ́lá, says it's all propaganda by his opponents to link him to the internal crisis of the State Council of the NURTW.
It's quite unfortunate that he inherited the crisis through the NURTW when he came on board. That was, you see, those people, the NURT people, they don't change their government peacefully. That has been their own nature. And unfortunately, that was when he came in. And we thank God, he was the one that proscribed NURTW. So if you are enjoying peace in Oyo State today, it is his handwork.
The train to Oyo paid a visit to traditional rulers in the town and some elder statesmen. As residents of Oyo town demonstrated their love with this large turnout, the question of how convinced they are about an Akala administration will be answered with the results of the poll. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Oyo.
The Niger State chapter of the People's Democratic Party says it will appeal Friday's election tribunal verdict on the Niger East senatorial by-elections. Hassan Sabah, publicity secretary of the party in the state, disclosed this in a statement in Mina. The election petition tribunal had on Friday overturned the result of the senatorial by-elections in favor of David Umaru of the All Progressive Congress. The party in the statement, however, urges members to remain calm and committed to winning the forthcoming general elections. It also advised APC loyalists not to rejoice yet, adding that the tribunal verdict is not a reflection of what transpired at the polls. The Niger State Zone B senatorial by-election was conducted in August 2014 to replace the vacancy created as a result of the death of Dahiru Kuta. The Justice, Development and Peace Commission of the Catholic Church, JDPC, organized a 50,000-man pre-election rally sensitizing Nigeria against violence before, during and after the elections. The rally, which commenced at 11:15 a.m. from the St. Agnes Catholic Church, Maryland, Lagos, through Mobolaji Bank and Thanway, had people from all walks of life participating. Speaking on the need to sensitize Nigerians on shunning election violence, the organizers say the talks is for all.
Those who are going to come out to vote are actually the ordinary people on the streets. And so that's why we are taking it down there. Most of the elite of the society actually have a whole lot of, the voter party is high on their side. How many times do we go out to vote and then you see MDs of top multinationals along the streets voting? So these are the ones who actually come out to vote. These are the ones that we use as thugs or that are used as thugs. And so we want to speak to them. We want to carry this message everywhere, not just in Lagos, but all around the country, to know that, yes, something great is about to happen.
And the tension in the country has been instigated by the political class in this country. But what we're trying to tell Nigerians is that we cannot afford to allow any form of violence, any form of electoral malpractice, for instance, that could also engender violence in this country. So you can see the inscription I have on my back: no rigging, no violence.
There should not be any part of our calculations. We should choose people who are genuinely interested in the welfare of our nation, people who are qualified. We should vote for them on merit, and we should never consider religion or ethnicity. It doesn't matter. We're all Nigerians.
Pandemonium broke out in Abeokuta at the campaign rally of the APC member of the House of Representatives, Segun Williams, with a woman shot dead. The member, who represents Abeokuta's South Federal constituency in the House, was campaigning in the Ward 8 of the local government when hoodlums stormed the venue, shooting sporadically and also macheting several people who are receiving treatment in private hospitals. In his reaction, Segun Williams says the incident happened shortly after his departure.
The rally was actually intimidating. And we felt that some people on the other side, who might seem to have an opportunity, felt they could not scuttle the movement. We left, everybody left to reach our own destination. At about 6:30, thereabout, the report started coming in that after our departure, good news took over and started unleashing terror in our neighbors.
PRO of the Ogun State Police Command, Muyiwa Adejobi, confirmed the incident and added that Shegun Williams was there when the violence started. He says the policemen attached to him fired shots into the air to scare away hoodlums who fired back, leading to the death of the yet-to-be-identified woman.
Our cars were broken, destroyed, and even learned that gunshots were coming out where one person or lady was injured.
Well, the insinuation that they say that the woman which was shot dead by the police actually was not true according to them, but we bring you more details as the stories actually unfold. Now, away from that, we'll just take another break, and when we return, there'll be more stories for you outside Nigeria and, of course, sports.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical, women being so powerful yet have few grounds in decision making.
I see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back to the Midday News. If you're just watching us, you're watching CoreTV News Midday News, and you can watch us live on facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also reach us on our Twitter @CoreTV News NG. And for more updates and other programs, you can join us on our facebook.com/CoreTV, never space in the news. Now, police says are still studying the threat by some ex-militants to declare war on the nation if President Goodluck Jonathan loses the forthcoming presidential elections. The force stated that it will take appropriate actions at the right time when asked what the police plan to do about the threat. The force Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Ojukwu says the police were still studying the situation and will take appropriate steps. Ojukwu, however, added that there is no report before the police on the threat. The federal government had condemned the inflammatory statement by the warlords, saying there was no basis for the beating of war drums by the ex-militants. Minister of Interior Abba Moro described the threat by the warlords as reprehensible, stressing that Jonathan has said he would concede defeat if he loses the presidential election. And away from that, outside Nigeria, in India on Saturday succeeded for the first time in using a mobile launcher to test fire a long-range missile capable of delivering a nuclear warhead deep inside its Asian rival. Although Saturday's launch was the third test of the Agni 5 missile, it's the first time the weapon has been fired from a so-called canister mounted on a truck rather than from a concrete launch pad used in previous trials. The new delivery mechanism gives the armed forces increased operational flexibility. Agni 5, developed by the Indian Defense Research and Development Organization, was the first tested in April 2012. Agni Median 5 in Sanskrit is the name given to a series of rocket India developed as part of guided missiles development project launched in 1983. India, the world's biggest arms importer, is the midst of $100 billion defense upgrade program. The new right-wing government has cleared long-delayed projects worth over $16 billion since the storming to power at elections in May. Modi has pushed for greater indigenization of its defense industry, saying India must build up its military might to the point that no other country dare cast an evil eye on the South Asian nation. And away from that, and to sports, Serena Williams won her 19th Grand Slam title and also maintained her unbeaten run in 6 Australian Open finals and extended her decade-long domination of Maria Sharapova with 6-3, 7-6 win earlier on Saturday. After celebrating prematurely on her third match point, letting her racket go after serving what she thought was an ace, but learning that it was a let. Top-ranked Williams took a deep breath and fired another ace, her 15th of the set and 18th of the match to seal it. But this time, the celebration was real. She jumped around like a little child, bouncing up and down before shaking hands with Sharapova at the net. And that wraps up the midday news. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabana Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.